Welcome to the world of flowers. I'm Schwanke. I've spent my entire life surrounded by flowers. As a fourth-generation florist, flowers have been a part of my daily life for as long as I can remember. Now I'm on a mission to share my knowledge and love of flowers with everyone I meet. Growing, picking, arranging, designing, and sharing. It's all fascinating to me because I love flowers. Anything flowers and everything flowers. Welcome to Fun with Flowers and Jay. Today on Fun with Flowers and Jay, we're in the middle of a field of beautiful dahlias at the Hamilton Dahlia Farm in Hamilton, Michigan, and we'll show you how they grow these amazing flowers. So what do you grow on your farm?
We grow 5 acres this year of just dahlias.
Do you have any idea how many plants are here?
I did the math according to how long the rows are, and basically 45 to 50,000 plants.
Do you know how many flowers that's going to yield?
No.
A lot.
Dahlias, we figure when we take orders during the week that anything that we cut on a Monday is back ready to be cut on Thursday. And Tuesday's orders are ready on Fridays. So basically every 3 days the plants are fully back in bloom.
Do you know how many varieties you grow?
Probably 150 to 200 varieties is what I have here. I'm Jan Brondike, and I own the Hamilton Dahlia Farm here in Hamilton, Michigan.
So how long have you been growing dahlias here?
On this farm, we've grown them since the mid-50s. My dad bought this farm specifically for dahlias. So because it's sandy loam soil, he traded 100,000 mum plants for 100,000 dahlia tubers and became the world's largest dahlia grower with 90 acres.
Why did he pick dahlias?
Well, it was a professor at Michigan State that convinced him to trade in 100,000 mum plants for 100,000 dahlia tubers. And he bought this particular piece of land, this entire block here, for the sandy loam soil. And then he built the buildings behind us here into the soil, so they're right up on the hill, to store dahlias because they're very hard to store. So those buildings are basically stay at 40 to 50 degrees and 80 to 90% humidity.
So how long have you been growing dahlias?
This is my 14th year. Yeah, like I say, I worked with my dad. I got a business degree in college, and I came back to the farm and worked with him. And then one year he said, you ought to try something different. So I worked in an office for 6 months. I called him and said, please let me come back to the farm. So I've always been an outdoor person and always loved working with my dad. And so I just kept it up. When my dad started the dahlia business, he went to Kellogg's to promote his dahlias for the back of their cereals. And the man was very impressed with them, but he said he wasn't a large enough grower, that he didn't think he could do it. So the next day, my dad hired tons of Hamilton boys, and they popped all the heads off of the dahlias and brought them back to Battle Creek, to the headquarters, laid them out on the entire grass lawn in Battle Creek. And the man, from above, everybody's looking out the window, and then the head guy said, anyone with that determination gets a job. And that absolutely changed the dahlia business. They would literally deliver 3 mail bags a day of mail to the house, to my dad's house. And my mom and 3 other ladies did nothing but open them. But it was 2 for 50 cents or 5 for $1, including shipping. So for 6 years, that's what we did. But that just, it was an amazing thing.
Wow.
And it was the break my dad needed, After he passed away, I found some of the dahlia boxes that he had, the originals, and then he had his order form. It was 1959, and the first 50-cent piece. So I have it framed in the building.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Kristin, you and I met at the Fulton Farmers Street Market.
Yes.
And that's how I found out about you guys.
Yes.
It's my favorite time of year when the dahlias come out.
Ours too.
So what's the process with this? How does the year go for you?
So we plant early in May. They take a couple months for us to get blooms, and during that time we're just cultivating and hoeing to try to keep the weeds down. Starting in mid to late July, we get blooms. End of September, early October is when we get our hard freeze, and once that happens, the whole field will turn black.
Right.
So all the blooms, the color will turn black. We have a flail chopper that chops the whole thing down to the ground, and then we come through and we dig them. We store them in our buildings down here. They're temperature and humidity controlled, and then all winter long we're dividing them and getting ready to sell them or replant in the spring.
So it's a continuous cycle.
Absolutely. It's a year round.
Not stop.
That's right. It's a year-round job for my mom. I work part-time in the winter, but all full-time during cut flower season.
So, Kristin, this variety is unique to you guys too, right?
Yeah, this is called Harvey Coop. It's one of the seedlings that came from this farm. So basically this is what it started out as. This is called Spartacus. And then we started to see this happening in our field. Right. So once you have something that happens that's different than what it's supposed to be, you can, take cuttings of it and sort of develop it, and then eventually you can take it to trial gardens. And if it grows well in trial gardens for, I think, 3 years, then you can get your name on it, and then in the American Dahlia Society, it will be a named variety for your farm. So we named it after my grandfather, Harvey Coop. Because it did start here. We aren't the ones in the book that have our name on it because a friend did the trial garden part. We were just too busy to do that part, so he helped us get it going. But
it's so interesting because, so normally all flowers have 2 chromosomes, okay? And we as people have 23, which is why people can look so different.
Sure.
However, dahlias are considered an octoploid, which means that they have 8 chromosomes, which is why this flower can look so different and have like that section.
Sure.
And I've bought them because I looked at them in your buckets, but those ones are half and half.
Yep.
A half and half blossom. That's what happens, and that's why it can revert back to Spartacus at some point in time, because it's the chromosomes that change. And there's over 20,000 different species of dahlias. It's the most broad. It is the official flower of San Francisco.
Okay.
It is, in 1963, it was determined to be the national flower of Mexico.
Okay, yep.
And the Aztecs used to grow and eat the tubers like sweet potatoes.
I made dahlia bread once out of the tubers. So yeah, you can
wow,
bread almost. So yeah, you can do that.
So that was my next question: was had you ever eaten it?
We have tried it once. We haven't tried it again, but we have tried it once. So
since Kristin joined me, I used to just plant dinner plates haphazardly. Now we are by color, by shades of color, everything. So, which is really nice, especially I've got florists and brides that come in. It's like if they want a medium pink, they go to the pink area and all the different shades of pink are there. Sure. So she's the organizer, all the signs we have and everything like that, she brings that to the farm.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge about being a dahlia farmer?
The weather is the biggest factor. We irrigate, and I spend a lot of money on irrigating, but I can control, the water situation. But it's amazing because some varieties we will say, okay, we're not growing it again because it was a hot summer and they look terrible, and then the ones that are the best in the hot weather didn't do well this year. The winds, every time they predict winds, I just go, oh gosh, because I've literally had a third of this field over many times.
Wow.
And usually they crack. So when they're heavy and this far along, they crack. And even if it isn't, trying to step them up, they go the other way. So
this is our second try to film you, because the first day we came to film you, there were some fabulous cloud formations, but then it just started to rain.
And you should. I was telling one of the guys this morning that I had a bride come in, and she said, "I'm ready to pick," and I said, "You can't pick. It's lightning." And she goes, "Oh, I can't." And so she ended up having us pick, putting them in our cooler. But I had 2 florists out here that day, and they're picking, and I'm like, you really shouldn't be doing this. And it's amazing, though, what good weather we usually have. And my crew, too, we have a lot of rain gear, and we always say it can rain on us on Fridays. We don't care. We'll get wet. But it can't rain on Saturday for the market.
What do you think is the most popular thing about the Hamilton Dahlia Farm?
I think it's because we share it with everyone. We did these driveways for people to come through. So, and we have a sign at the beginning when they drive in and lets them know they're welcome, they're not trespassing, and it says, please take pictures, not flowers. It's a nice way of saying, this is a business, and
Yeah.
of course people do, I know they do, but we leave it open. Most florists that I have are because they got dahlias shipped in. They either were dead, too small, wrong color, and they were in trouble. They're like, can you help me? And I'm like, of course I can help you.
Right.
And local is such a huge thing now. So they come from Chicago, Detroit, Indiana, and we probably pick 60 to 70% of florist orders. But
Okay.
like I have a couple florists that
Right,
have driven
right.
in this morning. They always come and cut their own.
Okay.
Yep.
So they can come cut their own.
They can come cut their own, or I will cut for them.
Okay.
And same with my brides. I have a lot of brides, and probably 90% of the brides will cut their own. It's
Oh, wow.
kind of a great experience.
Oh, yeah. How fun.
I had a mother said, don't tell my daughter, but I'm more excited about picking flowers than the wedding itself. So it's unique, and people, they love it.
So why be a flower farmer? Why not run a grocery store or be a pharmacist or...
I always said I could work at McDonald's flipping burgers and make more money than I do here. Flowers make everyone happy. And it's like, how can you not be happy in a dahlia field? Every morning I wake up and I love coming to work. It's when you don't like that anymore, you decide you're not going to do it. This is just a bouquet I picked, but it has some of the dahlias that my dad developed. And this is our signature one that we talked about earlier called Bradley Aaron,
Okay.
named after our son. My son named all the seedlings that my dad had done. He just called them by number and then by the year he developed
So
them.
this was Dad.
This actually came in our field. My father did not develop this. It came out in our field and we named it Harvey Coop. And then this dahlia, the yellow one, was my dad's seedling. Kristin named it after herself. So that's Kristin Lynn. And this is mine, Janet Allison. And then my mom's dahlia is Mary Lou. And this past March, she turned 90, and we had a big party, and Chris and I made packages with ribbon and everything, and everyone got a Mary Lou. So the town has Mary Lou all over it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And all the family, one family of 6 has 6 dahlias, and they're all Mary Lou from the party.
What
But
an
anyway,
incredible legacy.
isn't that cool?
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so neat. But like I said, these were just numbers, and then our son said, numbers are not fun. So
No, absolutely.
anyway,
not.
and this is April Dawn and Tempest, High Patty. This one I love, and it gets to be absolutely like a softball. And this is Bracken Sarah. Honestly, it can get this large.
That's beautiful.
Ferncliff Copper, just some fun ones, Hillcrest and more. So over the years, we grow ones we like, and we get rid of ones we don't like.
But they're all beautiful.
They're beautiful. They are, and some that we don't particularly like, others just absolutely rave. So, it's all about what preference.
That's great. So why are flowers important?
People come to the market and they say, I buy my flowers first because they make me happy. Hands down. Even last week, people said, you sell out so quickly that we now realize that we have to come here first, and we'll hold them for them in the back because they need their flowers.